I'm Trevor Aeon. I'm gonna break my foot off in your ass.
Well, we are ready to venture on from the grove, and more specifically, to try to find this Karlach, while Wyll still has some idea of where she was last seen, which is how I'm interpreting the quest marker on the map. We witness Shadowheart cry out in pain. Apparently this is a thing that happens sometimes, but we don't know why, and we've been asked to let it be. Mole wants us to steal the idol that Arabella tried to. We're considering it, since we're generally not happy with the druids. Saza has promised to get us into the goblin camp safely. Could be a way to find this Halsin, and, though it seems unlikely, see if this priestess Gut can help. This is our clue that Halsin is likely at the goblin camp. Whether he's still alive is yet unknown. Meanwhile, Zevlor wants us to neutralize the goblin threat. Ultimately, this is their problem and not ours, but we will be at the goblin camp, so I guess we'll see how that goes. We do have some curiosity regarding the Rite of Thorns, but at this time we're not sure how to go about finding out what she's really up to. And it may become moot if we decide to just kill Kaga. Zevlor offered us what sounded like a mighty reward for that, and she did threaten the life of a child. But at the very least, we need a plan if we're going to do that. We're not sure exactly what effect it would have if we just assaulted her out of nowhere. Well, while we're thinking about that, it may be wise to try to find Halsin. Evidence suggests he at least will have more information regarding our tadpoles. And this entry reiterates that, according to Saza, the Goblin Priestess has powerful magic that could cure us. Dubious, but if we're going that way anyway, we may as well follow up.
Very well. I won't have a word.
I told them to run, the idiots! You better turn north here, or you'll end up like them.
Damn it. I wish we could at least have given them a proper burial.
Thought you was busy with the foul bloods in Elson's Grove.
Trevor will not tolerate racism. Knock it off with that foul blood shit.
Yeah, whatever you say, don't matter anymore.
Tieflings. Goblins. Gods, this contract was cursed from the first.
Trevor wants to hear more about this contract.
The kind that leaves half your crew dead. There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic, supposedly buried round these parts. But gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it.
Gold sounds good to Trevor. Where would he find this relic?
It's called the Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you a map of the temple and wish you a happy funeral. But my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own sodger. Goblins made short of the fat old chunk. All I've got's the contract. Can show you where we turn back, if you feel like dying.
While he's got Eridan's attention, Trevor asks about the druid Halsin that went with them.
As soon as he heard we had a contract to find that Night Song relic, he was more eager than a hound in heat. When the goblins jumped us, most of my crew scarpered, just like I taught them to. The old codger didn't.
Trevor tells Eridan to hand over the contract.
I'm just glad to be rid of the bloody thing. Happy hunting. Come on, We're wasting time.
Trevor looks over this contract. It looks more like a handbill. It tells about Master Leroican and the search for the Night Song, but Trevor suspects this isn't the only copy, and he expects to find competition looking for it. These stick figures could correlate to the goblin leadership, but the drawing is of such poor quality he doesn't think he can sell it, so he doesn't bring it with him.
That will fit in my pack. What's inside? Something's waiting up ahead.
Even from here, Trevor sees the goblins' clumsy attempts to set up an ambush, and Saza nowhere in sight. He'll have to come back to this later and figure out a way to bypass the ambush. But between hunting for Karlach and the other adventurer's warning, for now we're just gonna turn north.
Owlbear tracks. Its nest must be nearby.
Trevor remembers the cult is talking about getting assaulted by an owlbear, and he wants to check this out, much to the protestation of the rest of his companions.
That stench. Dead owlbear prey, no doubt.
The pride of the gate.
Wyll says that if Trevor insists on getting himself killed, he won't stop him, but he won't encourage this behavior either.
My faith will guide me.
Shadowheart says she'll watch from here, but Trevor go on ahead.
Indolence breeds madness.
Lae'zel sticks closer and backs his play. She's probably actually kind of hoping a fight breaks out.
My patience wanes.
How much farther can I go?
You feel the quake of its heavy footsteps before you see it. An owlbear, its beaked face looming out of the darkness.
How about that? A barbarian performance check. Our bard level came into play a lot earlier than I expected it would. We roar. inspiration maxes at 4 points, so if we have 4, we may as well use one.
The beast shrinks back, feathers quivering.
Satisfied with showing himself to be dominant over the beast, Trevor turns away and doesn't bother them any further. Lae'zel is the only one who expresses disappointment at this development.
Looks like a shrine to Saluna over there.
Sealed by magic. There's no smashing this open.
Trevor does see this little alcove here. And there's a book on the ground here, but it's historical in nature and it doesn't really tell him anything about the chest. Oh, I guess he didn't notice anything around here. He takes one last look at the chest. It looks like it should be possible to break it, but that magical protection would really punish him for trying. And he doesn't feel like he has the tools right now to reliably test it. At least, not without dying in the attempt.
Something good here. I'll take that. I need a quick word.
Trevor's first instinct upon seeing a random dog in the woods is to give him a nice little pet. But that doesn't mean he'll accept being growled at. Trevor will establish dominance by growling back. With the dog calmed, Trevor takes a closer look.
Around his neck is a collar, etched with a name. Scratch.
He'll probably recognize his own name. Trevor calls him Scratch.
With a deep, heartbroken whine, the dog bows his head.
The poor thing is all alone now. Trevor invites him to follow us.
He whines, but remains rooted by the corpse's side.
Well, Trevor can give him his scent now, but then it's up to him.
That's curious.
Not a chance I'll fit in there.
If everyone else minds their business, I'll be fine.
Trevor notes that this could be a good way to sneak up on the ambushers, but he doesn't want to get distracted from his current mission, so he notes it and then we continue on the way we were going.
Wonder if the gods are watching me. Maybe I need more pockets.
This appears to be the structure next to a waterfall that we've seen from other vantage points. Perhaps we can get a better look at our current surroundings by getting to the top of it. Looks like our little spider friends can't really climb ladders very well, so we'll have to bring them up the long way around.
On my way.
There's impassable mountain to the north. Looks like the road continues to the west. And there's our landmark waterfall. But we don't see any obvious signs of the devil we're hunting. Perhaps we can find some clues inside.
Very well.
Need any supplies? We've fewer mouths to feed now.
Fewer mouths, huh? Trevor asks what happened to cause that.
The Lord of Justice sent us after a devil haunting this area. We squared off against her. We lost. Talk to Anders if you want the details. I don't have it in me to recount the horror.
He then immediately tells her to recount the horror by asking how many died.
2. Both stalwarts of Tyr, sworn to uphold justice.
She's a vendor. See what she's got. We'd mostly rather save our money right now, but we'll take a couple of potions.
In Tyr's name.
According to her, it looks like we're on the right trail. Let's go find and talk to this Anders she mentioned to get more details.
Cut it out. There's worse than gnolls out there.
Nothing we need to worry about.
How about a dragon? Would that worry you?
I'd give it a bloody good fight, that's for sure.
Only thing you give a dragon is bad gas. At ease, friend. You're welcome to rest here. Who's there? Please, keep your distance. You're welcome to shelter here, but we've grave injuries to tend to.
Trevor suspects it's the devil we're hunting, but let's get confirmation. What attacked you?
A devil. The most deadly foe we've yet encountered. We are paladins of Tyr, Lord of Justice. He sent us after an infernal being, straight out of the Nine Hells, hiding in the form of a one-horned tiefling.
One horn? Then you mean Karlach, Archdevil's bootlicker.
You know her, which means you know what the Fiend is capable of. She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute. Yesterday, she butchered an entire family without mercy. We were lucky to survive our encounter with her.
This could be the work of a devil, but they collect souls through cunning, not carnage.
I'm glad that the roles are supporting Trevor's knowledge of devils. He'll point out the abnormality in their claim.
Indeed, she's a uniquely vicious case. All the more reason she must be stopped.
Time to see if they know her whereabouts.
She ran toward the river when she saw we were merely wounded, not dead. Down the hill from here. She must pay for her crimes. If you capture her, you will have served Tyr where we could not.
This is the sword of justice, blessed by Tyr. I've wielded it since I swore my oath.
It's all I have, but it's yours if you stop her. Bring me her head, and Tyr will consider her crimes repaid.
Something's not quite sitting right, but if Trevor gives his word, he'll be locked in. He'll think about it.
May the just God guide you.
blood. No, never mind. Should mind my step.
That might be worth a look.
A key. I wonder what it opens. Always room for more. Seems like a good moment to talk.
One horn. The stink of Avernus. Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
Trevor is fully expecting a fight. What's it like to know you're about to die?
Touch me, and you'll regret it.
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood, the Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Trevor's seen enough of these mental connections to know that they are the truth. But even more to the point, look how strong she is. She should be joining us.
Wyll catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
Trevor reminds Wyll that we literally just saw her memories.
You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit.
You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are...
Trevor is happy to introduce himself to a potential new fan.
Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. It turns out I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going.
Trevor did come here looking for a fight. Denied with Karlach, but those paladins lied to him. So he's happy to send them back where they came from.
Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the Tollhouse just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Then we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by the short hairs. Sound good?
A warrior who winks at her foes while she slays them. You'd be a fool to refuse her.
In her own words, fuck yeah.
I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. No room in your party. What should I do?
Shadowheart's been keeping secrets from Trevor. Take her place.
I suppose this affords me a little alone time. Until later, then.
Excellent. Let's go. So, Wyll, now that we've made peace, how about we get to know each other properly? What's your story?
Not so much a story as a pantomime. And I've played my part all too poorly.
The Blade of Frontiers is a local legend, and as sure as Trevor is that he's earned his reputation, now that he's sizing them up next to each other, he tells Wyll that it's amazing Karlach didn't gut him where he stood.
Gut him? I'd rather toast him. It could have gone for my throat. The fact that we're both still standing here unscathed means he's a friend, or something close to it.
Thank you, Karlach. But if it brings our ally here any comfort, a reckoning's coming. And I'll be the one to pay up.
You make it sound like a harvest of devils coming for you, Wyll.
You're closer than you know. One night soon when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll face my penance.
Now that Karlach mentions it, this is kind of exactly the kind of deception a devil would partake in. More wary than he was, Trevor expresses that he's overdue for answers.
And you'll have them. But I can't promise you'll like them.
Trevor is already going to be a giant barbarian, so we'll let Karlach be a wild heart for variety and for tankiness with the bear aspect.
Moving in. Something's on my mind.
Please, no more. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please, we just want to go home.
If Trevor were calmer here, he might pause to assess their body language with insight. But, given the tadpole connection to Karlach, He came in here pretty sure of the truth, and being lied to is one of those things that really gets Trevor's rile up, so he calls them out immediately.
Zariel? Certainly not. We serve Tyr, Lord of Justice, and no other. Please, mercy. Half of us are badly injured, the other half dead. I admit, we ambushed you. An assignment from our gods, Tyr. We thought you a devil, and with your flames you proved us right. But Tyr will not consign us to our death. He is merciful. Leave us, and we'll leave you.
Enough with the charade. If Trevor had a gauntlet, he would throw it down here.
Enough! Enough! I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlach, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
Avernus was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back!
This is a pretty difficult fight. I typically recommend at least waiting until level 4 to do it, but this is where our path has brought us, and we do still have the spiders, well, most of them left, so here we go.
This is my time. Watch and learn.
That was painful, but if Trevor wasn't as tough as he is, he definitely would have gone down to the first shot. As it was, he used up Anders' entire action and 2 spell slots for Smite. So, even paralyzed, Trevor managed to have an impact here.
Stand in my way.
This is my time.
This is my happy place. Aye, aye.
never easy. And away I go.
No holding back. Anything useful?
Gods, it's hot in here. Under their noses. Go on.
There is a little trick you can do if you find yourself standing in fire like this. It would cost you an action to throw a water bottle, but without using an action, you can simply place a water bottle on the fiery surface and the fire itself will destroy it, spreading the water around and putting the fire out.
Where do I go from here? Time for some bloody work.
The blade will not bend. Let my enemies fall.
Blood comes easy these days.
go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash.
That's it, Karlach. Tear this place apart.
Zariel's gotta stop fucking with me, you know? I'm done with it. I'm done with her. I'm free. I'm free.
Need to find a way forward.
At this point, I realize I 100% forgot we had an invisible imp. That probably could have helped in the fight. In the meantime, let's just wait out here for Karlach to do her thing.
Whew. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look?
As an entertainer, there's pretty much no way that Trevor doesn't go for the pun here. Hot!
Careful, soldier. If I burn any hotter, I might explode. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close, till I've found a way to calm it down.
He's gotta hear the story of how she got an engine for a heart.
High pain tolerance, and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him.
There are a bunch of tieflings in a grove nearby. Trevor suggests we could look there.
Sounds like a good lead. Hopefully our guy will be among them. A tune-up would do this old tub a world of good.
We will head to the grove and also long rest very soon, but there's a dead end right there, so let's check that out real quick.
Bodies everywhere. Accident or sabotage? Let's see.
Is this your... Lae'zel?
Yes. It is much more lively than the Githyanki slates led me to believe.
Just wait till you see Baldur's Gate. You'll never want to leave.
I've mentioned before that Trevor doesn't care quite enough to actually talk to the animals, but Karlach sure does.
Listen.
Be gone. I am hungry.
Remember, you have tea.
Another one. What are you under there then? Ant? Aurochs?
Karlach just got here, so she actually just doesn't know what he's talking about.
The keepers of this place. They change their form to fit their need. They become birds, to hunt on the wing. Bears to tear flesh with teeth. But for me, only oxen, only same old hay. And I cannot even eat it, because the horned ones hide their shiny bits inside.
She would want to cheer him up, so she tells him that carrying the burdens of others is a noble thing to do.
When the horned ones leave this place, I will lie in the back, and you will pull, noble one.
Ah, you're addressing me, a humble ox. How quaint.
She wonders if this is the first time anyone's ever talked to an ox like him.
A druid or two, I suppose. But the novelty remains fresh.
She asks if he came from Elturel like the others did.
I suppose I did. Yes. I had quite a life in Elturel. Chewing cud, pulling carts, etc.
Karlach is not versed in Arcana, but who knows, maybe she figures something out. Only because we are full on inspiration, we'll try again.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
Out of curiosity, Karlach asks if he's willing to explain what's special about him.
No. You are incapable.
I imagine Karlach's persuasion attempt amounts mostly to just saying, please.
I'll tell you this much. I'm going to Baldur's Gate, with or without the rest of these poor sods. Now, that's all I have to say besides, and I really mean this, move.
Huh.
Move along.
Funny.
I mean, move.
How many?
Let's get going.
Like 6.
If not over, then through.
I'm going to kill 600.
Focus, children. We're exposed now.
Thought I sensed an infernal around here. But you aren't from Elturel. What's your story?
I spent a good bit of time in the Hells. Enlisted against my will by the Archdevil Zariel. Same as you, I suppose, if you're from Elturel. The devils were delighted when your city was swallowed up. I thought they had you for keeps. Glad you got out.
I got lucky. It looks like you did too. And you brought some infernal machinery with you.
A little gift from Zariel. Keeps me burning hot.
Very hot by the smell of it. Might be burning out a piston ring or leaking oil. Mind if I take a listen?
Be my guest. But don't get too close or your eyes will melt shut.
Phew! You really are burning up. Whoever put that engine together tried to house metallogized demono valves inside a Ragnak's alloy casement. Very risky. I might be able to help, but I'd need infernal iron. And a prayer that my hammer will survive the work. That thing isn't meant to operate outside of Avernus. I'm not sure how much longer it'll keep running the way it's going.
Will you be able to turn down the temperature a little? Worried I'm gonna go in for a handshake and singe someone's arm off one of these days.
I'd worry about surviving the night first. But help one, help both. If we can cool you off, it'll stabilize your engine and allow you to touch whomever you please.
Trevor asks if Damon knows where we should look for this stuff.
I've sensed some during our travels. It has a pull to it. Absolutely magnetic, once you know what you're looking for. I can show you where I'd look.
Alright, not much for it, but to keep our eyes open.
Meanwhile, I've still got plenty of weapons and armor in stock if you're looking to load up. Forged from the heart. Damn druids. Who uses wooden tools?
What's the story?
The first thing Trevor wants to ask about is this heart that's literally burning her up.
That's the short of it. Bloody thing's been in overdrive since I left Avernus.
Well, how did she end up with such a thing?
The year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-knee delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell.
A beast in battle and a storyteller? By all means, tell them.
I'll mete out the best ones bit by bit, so you always have a reason to keep me around. Clever, right?
Trevor is particularly interested in her expertise on killing devils.
Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Trevor asks about this boss that gave her up.
Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Oh, to
feel so invincible again.
Alright, so now Trevor asks what this infernal engine does to her.
Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close.
Oh shit, Trevor observes she must be pent up.
I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, start making up for lost time. But not today.
Karlach's temper is a sight to behold. She'll need to be careful. That rage will burn her right out.
I should speak up.
Need something?
Isn't it glorious? Karlach's fury is a wonder to behold.
Karlach's all fire and fury. I pray to the Triad it doesn't consume her.
Trevor asks about his stone eye. Now that must be a story.
A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring. Why don't we take a little break, Allow ourselves a few moments of rest? Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important.
Trevor immediately thinks back to that complicated protocol Gale had when he died.
Putting two and two together, I see. We've been on the road together for a while now, haven't we? Survived some perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way you stood in front of a crossbow to prevent a murder. The way you got Korga to release the girl. The way you got that boy out of a harpy's clutches. The way you followed the protocol and brought me back to life. In short, I've grown to trust you.
Compliments. Trevor likes compliments. Gale can keep that up all day if he likes.
The reason I make a point of saying this is that I've grown confident enough to tell you something I've yet to tell another living soul, except for my cat. You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly.
What kind of condition, Trevor wonders?
The specifics are rather personal, but suffice it to say that it is a malady I've learned to live with, though not without some effort. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside.
Okay, that's weird. Is Gale telling Trevor that he's addicted to magic?
No, it's nothing like that. Magic isn't a narcotic to me, it's quite literally a lifesaver. I would not burden anyone other than myself with this were the stakes not so high, and the means of obtaining such artifacts challenging for a humble wizard to face alone. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It is time, and by that I mean it's imperative that I find and consume strands of weave at the earliest possible juncture.
Okay, yes, very weird. But, Trevor thinks, if he's had this condition for so long, then can't he handle it himself?
A fair point. However, until recently, I was able to rely on a supply of artifacts stored in my tower in Waterdeep. A supply that has now run dry. The reality of the matter is that a lone wizard with a chronic impairment such as my own is not in the most ideal of situations with regards to self-defense. The manner of artifacts I need are not often found waiting patiently on a shopkeep's shelf. One usually has to lift them delicately from trap-filled tombs or prize them from the hands of violent ne'er-do-wells. There'll be danger involved, or great cost.
This is definitely a strange situation, maybe even a bit difficult to believe. Despite that, Trevor's not seeing most of the signs he's used to looking for in deception or manipulation. Gale is presenting his case with urgency, which is not usually a great sign, but he isn't trying to pitch him something, or downplaying the inconvenience of what he's asking. And the lengths to which he went to for his resurrection protocol lends credibility to his story. Honestly, without that occurrence, Trevor might have gone a different way here. He's still wary, but to the best of his ability to determine, this is a genuine ask for help, with dire consequences for failure. Fine. Trevor will help.
Splendid. Bit of boldness will serve us well. As luck would have it, you're already primed to give me exactly what I need.
First, Trevor wants to know what's going to happen to the item.
I will consume the magic inside. What was a powerful artifact will be rendered no more than a trinket. But it will save my life. Even if only temporarily.
Alright, let's find something to give him. The thing that we care about least right now is this ring of color spray.
Thank you. That hit the spot. I could feel it work. The magic, it's like a lullaby that sings to sleep the demon inside. A metaphorical demon, I haste to point out, but no less dangerous. And no less bound to wake up again to continue its ravages. Such is the nature of all monsters.
Alright, Trevor gave you what you needed. Now he wants more details.
Grateful as I am, the course of our camaraderie is much better served by not taking that particular detour. Not just yet. Sincerely, though. I understand I ask a lot from you with few answers in return. But in time, all will be told.
Unsatisfied with that response, Trevor quips about how expensive that condition is.
I obtained it in Waterdeep. Nothing there comes cheap.
And even though we just talked to everybody, let's see if they have anything to say about this.
Gale slurped that thing up like a horse with a carrot. I hope he got what he needed from it.
Gale is positively voracious. Well, let him suck up all the magic he needs, as long as he doesn't snack on a Githyanki's silver sword.
I've known people who are hungry for power, but Gale takes it a bit too literally for my liking. I wonder how he does it. Why he does it? I'm sure all will be revealed in time, but I don't like it. A waste of perfectly good treasure.
I like Gale, but I'm keeping all my good gear well out of sight. Everything fancy he touches meets a grisly end.
So, Gale just consumes magical items like I do wine. We truly are a group apart. Nevertheless, as quirks go, that's a new one for me.
And finally, a well-needed rest for the party.
Here goes nothing.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Wyll, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
More devils that Trevor doesn't know. Who in the 9 hells is this?
Wyll, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Wyll's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Wyll. But Karlach's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlach, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlach meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart.
Trevor knows better than to give a devil any room for interpretation, so he tells her to just get to the point.
The point? Oh, yes. Thanks for the reminder.
Wyll burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlach, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Wyll, don't forget,
our pact still stands.
Ta-ta.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Wyll hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that.
Trevor chooses to focus on how she's feeling rather than his opinion of Wyll's actions. You must be relieved.
Gobsmacked, really. But grateful. Really grateful. I could learn a thing or two from a man like that. Hopefully we won't turn into mind flayers first.
I hope Mizora flies into the blades of a windmill for what she did to Wyll. Though, I must admit, the new look is a little dashing.
So, Wyll did the right thing, and it earned him a set of horns. Let that be a lesson to us all.
The Blade of Frontiers in the guise of a devil. I'd remark on the irony, but I'd hate to waste the breath. Still, it took guts to defy that petty patron of his. The blade's sting is real.
Gods damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
We knew that Wyll was a warlock, but not that his patron was a devil. His opinion of Wyll, and of Wyll's reputation as a legend, has just taken a nosedive off a cliff. He can't help but see someone who's accepted a devil's deal as a mark or a rube. And then, Wyll had the gall to advise us against Raphael? What a fraud.
I deserve that. Consider me properly shamed. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast.
You need to get out of this pact. Trevor does not phrase it like a question.
A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to.
Trevor believes there's likely some way out of it, if you can find it.
There could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads.
Trevor knows all too well what kind of havoc an improperly bound devil can wreak. He fears for what may come next.
I'm so sorry to give you another reason to sleep restlessly, but it's my burden to bear. She won't touch you unless there's something there for her to take. Don't give her so much as an inkling there might be.
And you know what? Right now, Trevor can't trust Wyll to be in the active party.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready. And just when things were warming up.
can't help feeling Wyll got off lightly. The wrath of the Hells is second only to the wrath of the heavens. Having a devil in our camp will certainly make things interesting. Never a dull day, is there?
Trevor has been wondering why that protocol is so difficult.
The instructions were easy enough, weren't they? If slightly elaborate. Like I said, I'm dangerous even in death. I'm merely trying to protect those around me. I find that a healthy amount of theatrics, a voice from the beyond, a magic flute, a friendly, if highly combustible magma method, tends to make for a more compelling case. If nothing else, I'm sure I piqued your curiosity.
Honestly, Gale's got him there. Shadowheart may have her secrets, but she seems to be very practical-minded, and Trevor can appreciate that.
Something the matter?
Join up.
All right. Some company wouldn't hurt on the road, especially if there's trouble.
Scratch showed up. Well, Karlach's certainly going to make a beeline to talk to the puppy.
Herman, is that you?
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
Pet the puppy. We must have told Karlach about how we found Scratch, because now she asks about his master.
Master? Friend. I stayed with him until I knew he was gone. I'll never forget him. But I'm glad to have met you.
So that's progress.
So, hey, we've got this soul coin, right? Thing is, I think I can use it. My engine can, anyway. Zariel used to top me up every now and again when she wanted me to go after an especially wicked target.
Trevor would already be familiar with soul coins, but he wouldn't know how Karlach can use them. So, does she have a coin slot or what?
Sort of. Next time we find ourselves toe-to-toe with something we want to squash, drop a coin in. See what happens.
And yeah, Trevor finds that intriguing. He kind of wants to see what she does with this thing. So the next time we get in a fight, he'll try to remember to give her one.
Fuck yes. Now I just need something to sink my teeth into.
During off-screen logistics, we notice that Gale is doubled over again.
My condition is worsening again. I need to consume some powerful magic or it may become volatile.
This came surprisingly quickly after the first time, but thankfully we have Chimera's locket, which all that does is allow you to cast dancing lights, which we can already do.
Thank you. It is a strange experience. Each time anew. Like a lost soul is spelunking through the darkness that is me, only to be sacrificed on the dread altar of the heart. Somehow the second artifact hasn't had the effect of the first. It's somewhat relieved the discomfort, but I fear my hunger hasn't quite...
This isn't helping Trevor's wariness. Gale, what's happening?
The magic isn't having the effect it should have. It's not like the last time, like a rainstorm that quells a forest fire. It merely drizzles. The embers still sizzle, the fire remains undefeated. I'm not certain what's going on, but nothing good. Please, I need to think. I need to retrace my steps to a glade of calm and think. Thank you for the artifact. A great deal of trouble it was too. A great deal of trouble indeed.
While doing our off-screen looting, we found a maul in a random crate. This will be a much better tool for Trevor to break open tough chests than the Grape Club was. We also gave Karlach a random set of scale mail that we found, and also Anders' Sword of Justice. The most significant part of this is just that it does have an enhancement bonus, but it can also be used to cast what is essentially Shield of Faith. And we also gave Karlach that great club that Trevor had, just in case she needs a bludgeoning option. So next time, we'll explore the basement of the Tollhouse. After that, Lae'zel is pressing us to follow the Risen Road west, where the Githyanki patrol she heard about should still be.